Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Hakmal bin Kasir. My matrix number is 30DLS20F2010 and my bill of relation name is Miss Hajah Haslin binti Jamari. I want to talk about the procurement, logistics and supply chain in course code DPL 50174. There are three agenda in the pricing determination, which are the price analysis technique in the procurement, second is basic approach to price determination, and lastly the purchase negation price in procurement. First topic is price analysis technique is a procurement have the 5 subject to explain, which is competitive bid, prior quotation, publisher price list, prices by law or regulation, and similar item comparison. Competitive bid involve the soliciting bids from the multiple supplier for the same goods or service. The procurement team evaluate the bids received based on the required specification, quality, delivery time, and the price. This technique is effective in the ensuring that the organization receive competitive price and select the best value for the goods or service being purchased. Second is prior quotation. Prior quotation involves comparing the price offered by the different supplier for the same goods or service based on the previous transaction. This technique is useful when the organization has previously purchased the same goods or service and has an existing database of the supplier and price. This technique can help to determine if the current price being offered is reasonable and competitive. After that, a published price list to determine the reasonable of price being offered by the supplier. This technique is useful when the organization is purchasing commodities that have the standard market price. The procurement team compare the price being offered by the supplier with the published price to ensure that they are reasonable and competitive. Besides, price set by law or regulation involves using government regulation or law to determine the reasonable of price being offered by supplier. This technique is useful when the organization is purchasing goods or the service that are subject to the government regulation. The procurement team ensure that the price being offered by the supplier are in line with the regulatory requirement. And lastly, similar item comparison. Similar item comparison involves comparing the price of the similar goods or service offered by different suppliers to determine the reasonable of the price being offered by a supplier. This technique is useful when the organization is purchasing goods or services that are not standardized and do not have the published price list. The procurement teams compare the price being offered by the supplier with the similar goods or the service to ensure that they are reasonable and competitive. Basic approach to price determination divide two types, which is cost approach and market approach. First, cost approach. The price of the goods of the service based on the cost incurred to the produce or provide them. This approach considers the direct and indirect cost of the producing or providing the goods or service, such as labor, materials, overhead, and profit margins. The cost approach assumes that the price of a product or service should reflect the actual cost of producing it, plus a reasonable profit margin. The main advantage of the cost approach is that it provides a clear understanding of the actual cost involved in the producing or providing the goods or service. However, the cost approach does not consider the external factors that may affect the price, such as the market demand and competition. Second type is market approach. The price of goods or service based on the market condition, such as supply and demand, and the price offered by the competitor. This approach assumes that the price of the product or the service should reflect what the market is willing to pay for it, and that the price should be competitive with the similar product or service offered by competitor. The main advantage of the market approach is that it considers the external factors that may affect the price, such as market demand and competition. However, the market approach may not provide a clear understanding of the actual cost involved in producing or providing the goods or service. The purchase negation price in procurement is bid management and bid negotiation. Bid management, the process of managing the entire bid process from start to finish. It involves preparing bid document, issuing requests for the proposal RPS, evaluating bids, and selecting a supplier. The purchase negation price play a critical role in the bid management because it is used to evaluate and compare the bids received from the different suppliers. The buyer must consider not only the price of the goods or service but also the quality, delivery time, and other factors when making a purchase decision. Bid negotiation are the process of the discussing and the reaching an agreement on the term of a contract between the buyer and the supplier. Negotiating the purchase decision price is a critical component of bid negotiation because the buyer and the supplier may have a different view on what the fair price is and they may negotiate to reach a mutually acceptable price. The negotiation process can involve various tactics such as offering incentive or discount, adjusting and the scope of work, or agreeing to longer terms contract. Conclusion and determination. Determining in the appropriate pricing in a procurement is a critical aspect of the procurement process that can impact the success of the project of organization. To arrive at a fair and reasonable price, procurement professionals should consider various factors such as market trends, supplier pricing history, volume discount, and any associated risks. In the conclusion, the pricing determination process in the procurement should involve the thorough research, analysis, and negotiation to ensure the procurement of goods or services at fair and reasonable cost. Procurement professionals should also be aware of any ethical concern surrounding pricing negotiation and ensure that they comply with all relevant law and regulation. Last but not least, to improve pricing determination in procurement, organization can invest in the training and development program for procurement professionals. They can also leverage technology and data analytics to gain insight into the market trend and the supplier performance. Regular review and evaluation of the procurement practice can also help identify areas for the improvement and ensure that the organization is achieving its goal.